Alright, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and we are back with the hero changes. If you missed it, I just posted a video on all the general changes and item changes, but it took so long and I knew it would take so long, so I've split this up into 2 videos. So if you want to just focus on the items and the general changes, you can find it all there. If you want to focus on the heroes, you can find it all here. Abaddon, hero changes, getting into the first one. Base armor increased by 1. I mean, that's not bad, right? 1 armor is pretty good. Curse of the Avernus also deals damage per second to the target when it procs for the duration of the curse. Damage interval 0.5. Damage to buildings reduced by 70%. But it does damage to buildings, which is insane because you can keep it like permanently up. Yeah, it's 70%. This is really strong. Because how long does this last for? 4.5 and it does 30 damage. This is insane. At max, this does like 200 damage. At level 1, if you curse someone, which is not that hard to do, it does like 130 damage or something like that. And you get all the other bonus. I mean, this is just a huge buff. It's just strictly a huge buff. And you get 1 armor, which is really nice because the hero's armor is like, okay. But you're going to be running in to try to proc this. And it works on buildings, and it works on creeps, which is so good, because it's going to help you farm creeps. This is a huge buff. I mean, this is insane, right? You could put, I think it's going to be a core just because of this. Maybe you buy Veil. You buy Shivas. Oh my. Dude, guys, there's going to be so much theory crafting. I'm on Abaddon. I'm going crazy already. I don't know. There's going to be so much to talk about. Also, level 10 talent, Aphotic Shield provides 15 HP regen at level 10, which you definitely take, because you just shield yourself when you're farming, because the hero had innate sustain issues. Now, if you go Veil and take this talent, you have 0 sustain issues and you're unkillable. I don't know, there's something here. There's something here. Also at level 15, Curse of the Avernus does, oh my god, the Curse, oh, it can do a bonus 80. Okay, to be fair, the other talent was 55 damage, which was a really good talent if you're going right click, right? But this makes you do more damage to towers. I mean, it is 80 damage per second at the end of the day, which is an extremely high number. So, the Manta build on this hero is gonna go crazy. Oh man, there's potential here for sure. These talents are nuts. The 55 damage might be better, let's be real, but no, because I can't even argue that because you buy Manta, right? And the Mantas, you can just send them at heroes and it will completely destroy them because the Manta applies curse. I don't know, guys. There's something here. Acid Spray costs less mana, and this hero was already being played in the pro scene. Now it's just, it's only slightly better, but also this is pretty good. Debuff duration increase from 3.5 to 4. It's pretty good. AA, Ice Blast, Frostbitten duration. Wow, that's Ice Blast, Frostbitten duration. That's insane. I mean, that's a buff, right? Because the Ice Vortex duration is really strong, but 5 seconds of Ice Blast, Frostbitten duration? I mean, that's ridiculous. That's like the no healing, right? That's crazy good. That's a huge buff, I would say, because that's insane. AM, level 15 talent, buffed very significantly, 0.6 to 1. And wow, that's huge, right? Because that's so good with your Manta. And then they also buffed the 20 talent. Do you take that one? Yeah, maybe. Arc Warden, they nerfed a little bit. Axe, 1 armor, okay. Bonus armor on call is worse at all levels, but I don't think that matters too much. Coaling Blade also gives attack speed now when you kill someone. And it also gives armor, which is very significant. So when you dunk, oh, it gives armor in an AoE? Oh my god, what? For how long? It gives 20 armor and an AoE for 6 seconds? What? And 20 attack speed. This is insane. If you dunk someone, your team for 6 seconds all gets 20 armor. 20 armor. And this hero got 1 base armor, which is good for its laning. It really needed it. This hero's, it was one of the biggest weaknesses of Axe. Oh, there's something here, guys. I mean, 20 armor is 20 armor. There's no way around that. It's 6 seconds of 20 armor. And you can keep it going by getting, let's say you get 2 dunk kills. At level 10, you get Coaling Blade speed bonus duration. So for 10 seconds, your team will run at 20% faster with 20 attack speed with 20 armor. I don't know, guys. I don't know. This seems pretty good. Heal damage increased. On Brain Sap, much better at level 1, but it costs more mana, so okay. Aghanim Shard now decreases the cooldown, that's good. Cast range on Nightmare is better, much better at level 1, which helps with your trading. Okay, so Bane is a little better. Flame Break goes way faster and slows more, which is pretty nice. And they buff the cooldown on Firefly. Don't bring back Batrider, don't bring him back. To be fair, is the lowest winner here on Dota. But it's always one of those heroes where it's bad in pubs, but really good for pros. So this is a huge buff to Firefly. It's a huge buff to the Flame Break. And they also made the Ags easier to use, which is cool. Okay, Beastmaster got 2 damage, a little bit of agi gain, buffed his 20 talent. Bloodseeker, max health damage per second decreased from 1.8 to 1.5, so his Q kills him much slower. Not much slower, but slower. Aghanim Shard damage and lifesteal rescaled from 1.8% of target's max HP to flat 30% damage heal. Okay, that's definitely way worse, right? I mean, it heals you on every hit, but I mean, the 1.8 has to be way higher than 30. I don't know, 30 pure seems kind of like a lot. I guess especially if you're killing supports, maybe this is strictly better. I don't know. I'm not going to try to do the math now, but okay, Bloodright, instead of doing pure, does magical, so I'd say that's a nerf, especially as the game progresses, and that's about it. But okay, I don't know. I don't know, I don't really know how much this will impact the hero, but the Q obviously hurts him less, which is kind of nice. No cooldown on Janata. That's goofy. You can get no cooldown on Janata with Bounty Hunter. That will make for a really good YouTube video. That will make for a really good YouTube video. Someone has to make that video, all right? For all you people that make those like meme YouTube videos, what you have to do is have no damage items. So you need like Moonshard, and then you need a Shaman to shackle someone or like perma disable someone, and you just need to run their pockets for like a minute straight. And that'll be really funny. I'm giving you a free video idea, and I make videos, all right? What can I say? Charity. This is a video. It's the Robbery Bounty Hunter. I'm sure you could come up with a funnier title than that too. I don't know. Primal Split does less damage to buildings. And okay, the hero's about the same. So Viscous Nasal Goo. Why did they nerf Bristle? Everyone stopped playing him, I thought. Why did they nerf Bristle again? Thank you, Valve. A Hoof Snot. Damage decreased. And they made us 15 talent worse. So Centaur, quite a bit worse in their early levels, which makes sense. CK, they nerfed again. Once again, I thought people stopped playing it, but okay. Penitence, attack range bonus is now applied to all ranged units under Chen's control. Huh, I don't think the hero needed a buff. Oh, they nerfed Hand of God though. But I mean, this like is a heavy buff to like the rate. I mean, this is like a heavy buff to the ranged units Chen will use. Can no longer be used to teleport controlled units to Chen. Oh, so you just can't persuade your units. To be fair, people didn't use it that much, but I mean, occasionally you would have to, and this is like, it really sucks you can't do that, so. Okay, so that, I mean, that's a nerf. And they reworked Divine Favor, which is a really crap ability, I would say. Passively provides an aura that increases HP regen by 1, 2, 3, 4. Can be cast on an ally within aura to provide them with 12, 16, 20, 24 armor. Increase any healing they receive by 20% for 6 seconds. Self-casting also teleports any units under Chen's control to him after a 6-second delay. Okay, no. Why would you do this, Valve? Why would you do this, Valve? Why would you buff Chen? There's no way the initial nerf to Hand of God is enough to give him the ability to give someone 24 armor for 6 seconds. Why would you give him that? You just casually skill this now at level 4, right? You probably skill it at level 4, maybe at level 8, okay? At level 4 or level 8, probably level 8 is when you skill this. But if you're against like a Tuscan lane and that guy clicks tag team on your carry, you just give them 12 armor. I think this was a really bad idea and Chen is going to be extremely broken. I think you missed the mark. Okay, Clanks, a bit of agi gain, mana cost decreased, cooldown on Burning Barrage, that's a shard, so I can't imagine that matters too much. I'm gonna say Clanks is about the same. Clock got a bit of a strength gain, and no longer self-stun after the duration on its ags, instead it slows Clockwork's movement speed and attack speed by 100%. Okay, I guess you can still like click abilities though, which is kind of cool. You just can't move or attack. I mean, it's a buff, right? Because you can use like Glimmer and Force Staff and Ghost Scepter and stuff like that if you want. Maiden gives herself more mana now, and Clone can be destroyed by Crystal Maiden's own AoE spells. Oh, that's a buff. So now you can put this clone on the ground and then instantly destroy it. Oh, that's huge, right? Yeah, that's huge because you can slide away from someone and then Q it, and that will explode it. Oh, that's, I don't know, Maiden might be OP. This is gonna be strong, I'm pretty sure. You just buy the shard and you just like, you slide away from someone, you frostbite them, then you slide away, and then you nuke it, and then it frostbites them again. This might be insane, and they buffed her talents too. Darkseer buffed to the cost of Ion Shell. Wall now deals damage to the enemy when an illusion is created to them, so they can't blink. I mean, also if someone gets stuck in this shit, it's just gonna kill them. All right, Dark Willow, duration until max damage decreased from 3.5 to 3. I see, so it's easier to use. They buffed the 10 talent, but nerfed the 20 talent. Celestial Hammer, huge buff from 2.5 seconds on the fire afterwards to 4 at max, which you max this ability, so that's very significant. So that's really gonna help you farm certain creep camps and stacks and such. So nice buff to Dawn. Poison Touch now allows affected heroes to be denied if they... What? You can deny people affected by Poison Touch? No, that's so bad. Bad Juju no longer affects items. Health cost increased per cast, decreased from 50 to 40. That seems pretty bad. I don't know. You could just deny, I don't know. This seems like a huge nerf to Dazzle. Like, denying is so bad in Dota. If you get denied, it just wastes all of your time. Like, especially in the laning stage. This is so bad for Dazzle. It's so bad. Okay, Death Prophet's silence now slows, which is actually really significant because the hero has a gap close problem. This is a huge buff. A 25% 6 second slow is really huge. Oh, that's a huge DP buff. I love that. And they also made it where the 20 talent can make it a 40% slow. That's pretty cool. Thunderstrike, shard buffed on Disruptor, cool. Static storm radius is 50 bigger, which is actually a lot, so that's got to be annoying. You're just going to get clipped by it accidentally. Doom, 5 movement speed. Neutral abilities now level up automatically at the time when neutral abilities would scale. That's cool. Infernal Blade is now better at level 1, 3-second less cooldown. Doom no longer makes a hero deniable. Wow, that's a huge buff. Ooh, that's really huge. You can be way more confident about dooming people now. Because previously you wouldn't doom them. You're like, I can't doom the support I want to kill here because he's just going to get denied. Right, he's running away and I can't catch him, but I know it will kill him, but I can't do it because he'll just get denied. And Infernal Blade is a much better harass tool. And he got 5 movement speed. And this shit scales now. And his 20 talent's better. I think Doom's, I don't know. I think at a high level he'll be picked more. I don't think in pubs he's going to be much better, but I think at a high level he'll be picked more. Breathe Fire now applies corresponding corrosive breath and frost breath debuffs for his current level of Elder Dragon form, even in human form. Wow, that's a huge buff. That's just nice. I mean, that's just nice. It's really good for farming. It's good for finishing kills. It's gonna slow. I mean, that's really good. That's just good. Gust now reveals invisible units. Okay, interesting. Ricky counter. Now it does not interrupt multi-shot on cast. Okay, so you can put down Glacier during multi-shot. And she gets 20 lifesteal at level 15. Cool. Okay, Echo Slam does 5 more damage and costs slightly more mana early on, less than max. Earth Splitter does more damage early on. Searing Chains can chain up to 3 units now, which is kind of nice. It's way easier to chain people, or you can hit a 3-man chain. And Sleight of Fist does more damage, and Flame Guard has a bigger radius. Big buffs to Ember. Hitting a 3-man chain is gonna go crazy. That is so based if you hit a 3-man chain. But like even just in the laning stage, right? It's kind of nice. Enchant now deals damage per second when used on enemy heroes. How long is that for? For 5 seconds. Enchant does 100 damage at level 1 and slows. And at max it deals 250 damage and slows them. Oh, but it doesn't give armor to the enchanted creeps. Ah, I see. That's how they balance it out. Okay. You know, that's kind of interesting. It makes sense because like the hardest thing about ench creeps is you couldn't kill them with physical damage because of this 9 armor early game. But now she can just nuke the hell out of you. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a nerf. I don't know if it's a buff. It's like kind of weird. It's cool. It's cool. I kind of like this. I wouldn't say it's like a nerf or a buff. It just makes the hero more interesting. 250 damage is a lot though, considering you want to generally max. No, you wouldn't max enchant, but now there's incentive to max it. If you want to nuke people, which I can imagine Enchantress is doing this, right? Because you still get this strong creep, but it's not good at tanking towers now. That's the thing. It used to just eat towers. Now it doesn't really do that. Oh, but at level 10, I mean, it's level 10 and this hero kind of doesn't get levels well, but you get 10 enchanted creep armor, which is 10 armor. Yeah, I mean, you want to have enchant max probably at level 10 or by level 10. Not that you have to, I guess. I don't know. Eidolon's health is increased by 4%. By 4% of Enigma's current health, Eidolons now preserve their commanded attack target when they split. Whoa, that's cool. I mean, that's a huge buff because it would be really annoying to like have to re-micro them. Midnight Pulse now deals base damage, which, okay, it's not a lot, but sure, but it does less max health and it's smaller. But Eidolon's health is increased by 4% of Enigma's max health. Nice. So basically, this is another YouTube video. You buy 6 hearts on Enigma and then you make Eidolons that are really tanky. Nah, it's only 4%. It's not going to be that significant. But it is a buff, and so is this. So I don't know, kind of. I don't know how the midnight like base damage is gonna feel. Doesn't seem that significant. I mean, it'll help you farm, right? Nah, not really. Strength gain on Void slightly better. They buffed his talents by a little bit. Inkswell, Shard, 10% worse, but it's still hard to spell, so I'm pretty sure people still do this, and they nerfed Soulbind a bit. They also nerfed the 10 talent, which you would take. I think the 15 talent you would sometimes take. Stroke of Fate, okay, I don't know, I would say he's still fine. You could still pick Grimstroke. Okay, they changed cooldown. Now always shoots 3 missile strikes in the vector targeted direction, but with a single missile per strike. Each missile deals 250, 400, 550 damage and slows enemy movement speed by 50% for 4 seconds. Delay by strikes increased from 0.75 to 1. Strike radius decreased, but the mana cost was increased. So this ability can do up to 750 damage at level 1. If you hit it, which seems kind of nuts. Yeah, I mean, if they're running away and they're really stupid, they can get hit by... I mean, it's good when you're chasing someone, right? If they get hit by missile, which is probably the main way you'll set it up, or if you're chasing them, right, you put it in front of them. And then honestly, if you put it in front of them and they keep running, it will hit them. And it will do a ton of damage early game. So, I don't want to say it's better. I don't think this is better, but if you use it at the right time and you're chasing someone, it will hit them 3 times, generally. Hoodwink, bonus damage on Hoodwink's Q is much better now, especially at max, helps farm a bit more. And they buffed, wow, okay, so this hero, once it hits like the level 9, 10 mark, or 11 mark, is gonna do quite a bit more damage, guys. It will matter in some cases. Invoker lost 1 base damage, but gained a bit of strength gains, probably evens out. Tether now deals damage per second to enemies caught in the tether. Okay. I mean, it's good for farming, right? Because, like, you buy Helm Dom. It's, like, good for, like, Core IO. I mean, this is, like, a heavy buff to Core IO. You buy Helm Dom, and then you tether. I mean, you can use it with support IO, obviously, but it's particularly good with Core IO because you can, like, really consistently use it. So it's very good with Core IO. Dual Breath, start radius decreased from 225 to 150. End radius is unchanged because it's smaller at the beginning, but it's bigger at the end. It slows less, and it attack speed less. And okay, so it's just a nerf to the hero, I see. Damage tick rate rescaled from permanent 0.2 to Juggernaut's attack range, current attack speed multiplied by 2. Okay, so Blade Fury scales with attack speed. Aghanim Shard rework now increases Blade Fury radius by 100 and slows enemies' movement speed by 35%. So this should hit him really fast, right? Okay. I mean, I have a lot of attack speed. I mean, it does way more damage, right? The question is, how good is it if I have, like, normal starting items, right? Okay, if I have normal starting items and I click Q on this guy. Seems like, okay, so it seems like a slight nerf in the early levels. I don't know, I mean, that didn't seem that bad, right? What about at level 3? Oh, but it doesn't scale very well. Yeah, so it's not much better at level 3. But if you buy, like, Treads, let's say I have, like, a Treads Wraith Band, right? I mean, it does quite a bit more. It's, like, pretty noticeable. Okay, so, I mean, I don't know how I feel about this change. It seems like it still does a lot of damage early on. I mean, this is obviously significant, but this guy's pretty low HP. The thing is, I mean, as the game progresses, you're not buying this item, but basically what this incentivizes you to do is buy Mjolnir. You're not going to want to buy Battle Fury. You're going to want to buy Mjolnir because it gives him a ton of attack speed. Right, so you want your item build to look something like this. I mean, this is kind of goofy, but whatever, you get the point. And then at level 7 with Mjolnir, when you spin on someone, I mean, it's going to be much better than the old spin. Keeper of the Light, Ignis Fatuus now deals damage per flicker. That's a big buff to the Axe. I mean, that makes the Axe way better, right? Now also cast Chakra Magic on both Keeper of the Light and Ally upon teleporting. Wow, big buff to the Axe and the Shard. Sheesh. They buffed to 10 talent. Interesting 20 talent. Chakra Magic strong dispels the level 25 is really goofy. That could be really strong though. Okay, mana cost on Torrent Storm worse. Minimum spawn distance decreased from 300 to 115. It can spawn really close to you. I guess that's pretty good, right? Oh, they nerfed the AoE Torrent though. There you go. That's what hurts. Torrent cooldown isn't nearly as good. Aghanim Shard on overwhelming odds no longer provides bonus armor or duration. Aghanim Shard now increases overwhelming odds by 250 when cast during a duel. 250 is huge, but you have to duel and then Q. I mean, I don't know. It makes the radius huge. I don't think you're going to prioritize that too. Aghanim Shard now provides plus damage per duel. Oh, I see. And it applies retroactively. Oh. So you do have a reason to buy the shard. It's basically you buy it once you've gotten a good amount of duels because it will give you good damage. And, you know, this is decent. It will make you do a lot of damage, for sure. But you lost the 10 talent, which felt kind of good. But the thing is, you can take one of the other talents now, which are strong talents. Like the overwhelming odds is good. I mean, 8% movement speed strong. That's for sure. The cooldown is nice. I don't know if this is a buff or not. It seems so-so. Heavy buff to Edict. Whoa, from 7 to 9. And from 28 to 30 is good. And Lightning Storm slows attack speed by 50. Whoa, big Lesh buffs, for sure. Huge Lesh buffs. And the thing is, you can use it during the landing stage. I mean, it's only to be fair, at level 1, it's only for 0.45 seconds, but it will basically like cancel or half cancel an auto. Sinister Gaze steals a bit more mana. Ice Spire slows by less, whatever. Rage gives way less movement speed in the early levels, so nerf the Lifestealer. Lina, level 20, 11% spell amp, replaced by a Laguna Blade Supercharged Axe, which is definitely a nerf. Way worse when you're farming. Laguna Blade is pure, replaced with 150% crit on targets affected by Dragon Slave. Only affected by Lina's attacks. And that's kind of weird, right? I would say nerf to Lina, probably. Lion, bit of HP regen. Mana Drain now damages enemies for 100% of the mana drained. No shot. What? Wow. Wait, isn't his shard still the immunity? I mean, this is so powerful. 120 damage per second that slows for 35 seconds. It drains their mana, and you buy shard, and then you cook people. They can't move, they can't really break it, and it does 120 damage. This is insane. And at level 25, you can get 100% mana drain damage, which is really goofy, but honestly strong. I mean, I'm gonna play Core Lion. I'm saying it right now. I don't care. I'm playing Core Lion. I'm gonna try it. I mean, it's good on Support Lion, don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna try Core Lion. Lone Druid, lost some strength gain. Bear Armor is, from 3 to 0 at level 1. Ugh. Fetch duration increased. Fetch no longer slows the bear, so shard is good. Ugh. Okay, so the heroes, I mean, the bear's armor you basically have to get the bear to level 2 before it's good. And at level 1, the bear is very pressurable. So, I don't know. I wouldn't say Lone Druid's bad per se now, but you're going to feel like you have to skill up the bear for the armor's sake. Like, you really need to get it to level 3. And they nerfed the talents, they nerfed this. They buffed the shard by a lot. The shard on the bear is really strong, but that's about it. I don't know. I would say Lone Druid is still okay, is my guess. I would say he's still okay. Skewer now deals damage. Now deals 15%, 6, 9, 12, 15% of distance traveled as damage. I guess that's like the units. I don't know how much that would be. I honestly have no idea. Impact damage on Marcy's rebound slightly changed. They buff the ulti cooldown at level 1 and level 2 by a little bit. Okay. Backswing on Spear of Mars. Oh, wow. So Spear of Mars, you can throw it way faster now. And no longer toggles off Bulwark if cast by Bulwark if is active. Interesting. They also buffed the W pretty significantly. It does 30% more damage at max. Bulwark now grants Mars phase movement. So like if you want to use it and back up through a wave, you can do that. That's pretty cool. Active projectile redirection now also protects allies that are up to 200 range in front of Mars. That's pretty cool. So you can like save them from allies even if they're in front of you. And Arena of Blood spawns way faster. So it's way easier to chain stun now. I mean, way easier. It's not even remotely close. So, huge buff to Mars, honestly. This is going to make the hero way easier to hit your combo. And he does more damage, and Bulwark's better. So, okay. I mean, I don't know if the hero will be good, because conceptually I'm not a huge fan of the hero, but these are huge buffs, so it will help him a lot, no doubt. Okay, buff to Medusa, Agi gain by 0.2. They buffed the outgoing damage on Split Shot by 5% at all levels. Probably not enough to make the hero good. Poof is now no longer pure, it's magical, but it does more damage at all levels, which is probably a nerf as time goes on. It's a buff at level 1. It's definitely a buff in the early game. It does way more damage early on, right? It's gonna do like probably about 25 more damage per meepo early on, and that could be 2 ticks. So it could be, I mean, this could be very significant. They slightly okay. I don't know if you'd take the level 10 talent. I mean, Poof can do a lot of damage. Int gain increased on Mirana, Starstorm radius by 25. Aghanim Shard now guarantees a second Starstorm strike on all enemies affected by the slow if Starstorm is cast. And that seems pretty good, right? Okay, that's kind of weird. I don't know, I'll have to test that one out. Boundless Strike on Monkey King is a little bit better. Distance from 1,000 to 800 on Tree Dance. Cooldown decreased on Tree Dance as well, so you can hop around much faster at max from 1 to 0.8. It's kind of nice, but you can't hop around nearly as far. Wukong's command cooldown is much better. 10 seconds. No, okay. At level 1, which is not the important level to be honest, but it's better early on. It's less cooldown level 1 and 2. 10 and 5. Cast range is 75 better. Do you really want cast range on this? I guess it helps a little sometimes. I don't know. Kind of weird. They changed the talent to Primal Spring max damage, which is good for farming. I guess you would take that probably, right? For farming? I see, and it's 25 talent cut buff. Gunslinger is now toggleable and no longer prioritizes heroes. No longer prioritizes heroes. Oh, that's a big nerf. Because in the laning stage, you could just click the wave and it would just shoot the hero. Or like in team fights, it would always shoot a hero. It's kind of a nerf. And they nerfed her ulti damage. But in the later levels. So, I don't know. I would say it's a nerf. Definitely an overall nerf. Strength gain decreased on Naga. And they nerfed her 10 talent a little bit. Furion lost 0.2 Agi gain and lost all of his base mana regen. The hero has 0 base mana regen. They nerfed Death Pulse mana cost early on. They nerfed the Aghanim Scepter HP regen to decay from 55 to 50. It used to be, I think, 65. No, it used to be 60. Alright, overall nerfs to Necro, just a worse hero. Night Stalker gained a bit of mana regen. They buffed the Void mana cost by very little, but okay, they buffed it. In such a weird way. This looks so wrong. I don't know. Nyx Assassin no longer requires Nyx to face a direction when casting spells. Oh, that's his burrow. Oh, that seems really strong. But I don't know. I don't really see Ag's Nyx. They nerfed Ogre's 10 talent and then changed his 15. I don't know what this means, to be honest. Guardian Angel is now a single target ability with a 900 cast range. It costs mana, it has 2 charges, which are low cooldown. Aghanim Scepter reworked. Now you can cast it on allies, but has 2 charges and a lower cooldown. So you can use it a lot more casually. And Aghanim Scepter now grants an additional charge, increased cast range to global, and always cast Guardian Angel on Omni Knight as well as the target. It's kind of based, right? I mean, what this does, it lets Guardian Angel be much more casual of a spell. It used to be so committal and long cooldown at 160. Now it's an 80-second charge time, which is way shorter, and you can feel good about just like saving an ally with it. So honestly, I'm a big fan of this change. It makes the ability a lot more practical. It was so niche. It was way too long of a cooldown, and no one would ever skill it early on. Now there's a good reason to. So definitely a buff. I like this change a lot. It's really cool. Purifying Flames is easier to cast. False Promise cast range. Okay, OD. Radius on Sanity's clips is much bigger in the early levels, and he got Spell Lifesteal level 20, which is kind of good. Pango got 0.5 mana regen. Shield Crash is now physical damage, and the cooldown in ball form is now always decreased to 963. So that's just a buff, right? Because, oh, no, it's not, because it depends on the level of ball. So in early ball, you could, if you instantly cast Shield Crash with level 1 Rolling Thunder, you can cast it twice, which is kind of a buff. And what is the other talent now? What can you take? Instead of that, you can take Shield Crash Barrier, or you'd probably take Rolling Thunder cooldown. I mean, late game Pango loves this, right? Because at level 18, you get the Rolling Thunder cooldown, and you get the Shield Crash cooldown in ball now. So late level Pango likes this, and early game Pango can use it. Because if you roll and instantly W, you can W twice. But it was already a 12-second cooldown, so not really, I don't know. It hurts early game Ags Pango, like level 15 Ags Pango. That timing, which is a very common timing, it's a nerf to that. I don't know, kind of weird. Phantom Assassin, int gain increased, base movement speed by 5, that's kind of nice. Phantom Strike no longer provides lifesteal, which kind of sucks. That was pretty important for the hero, but okay. But it lasts for slightly longer. Damage type on Phantom Knives from pure to physical, but they changed it from 16% to 25%. I don't know how much that will matter. Depends if you're going on a high armor hero or not. I would say seems like kind of like a nerf though overall. Phantom Lancer, intelligence gain decreased. Aghanim Scepter no longer increases movement slow. Oh, that sucks. 8 strength replaced with 10 Phantom Rush agility. I mean, hey, that helps you farm really fast. And they nerfed the level 15 Spirit Lance cooldown. Maybe you'll just take the other talent then. I feel like you will. 1 second is so bad. Do you even want to buy Ags now? Maybe you just don't buy Ags. You just go normal PL, which kind of sucks because the Ags is so strong. Phoenix. Projectile increased from 900 to 1000. Aghanim Shard movement speed decreased from 12 to 10%. And the 6% Spell Amp replaced with 20 Icarus dive per second, which is definitely a nerf. You would definitely rather Spell Amp, I think. Primal Beast Rock Throw goes faster, doesn't go as far. Okay, and it's easier to hit. Interesting. Puck Orb cooldown is 1 second better at all levels, which is actually quite nice for the hero. They buffed the 10 talent, probably not the talent you're going to take, but it's a decent talent, and they buffed the 20 talent. I mean, it's good. Orb cooldown is really nice for this hero. It actually matters a lot, like a ton. Pudge armor talent is slightly better. Pugna lost some base agi, which makes sense. It was a bit too good at trading. Netherward cooldown is longer now. Okay, so I would say it's still a good hero, but worse. Oh, that's an interesting talent. That's really cool. So at level 10, you have the option to take 10% Decrepify movement speed to allies. So if you're decrep your teammate, they go 10% faster, which is a lot faster. I don't know, that might be worth taking, frankly. I'm not sure. 200 health is really good, so that's a hard one. Aghanim Scepter Radius on Quap's Shadow Strike from 400 to 375. Scream of Pain is now 120 flat, which sucks because it hurts your laning a lot. They also got rid of your 8 strength talent at 10, which really hurts your hero. Ugh, okay, big nerfs to Quap. Really hurts this hero. Static Link, damage drain is worse, just straight up. Damn. Oh, but the link duration increased from 5, 6, 7, 8 to 10 flat. I see. So instead of being able to sap up to 35 in 5 seconds, now you can sap 50 in 10. The question is that a good thing? Hard to say, right? Because being able to link someone for 10 seconds means you get to hit them for really long. But in the laning stage, usually it's really difficult to link someone for longer than like 3 or 4 seconds. So it depends where you find them. It makes the skill build interesting because you have the option to leave the ability at level 1 and just use it as a means of attack moving someone, right? Because even at level 1, you get 10 seconds of attack moving, which is really strong, but you will drain them really slow. So maybe you put it to level 2 or something like that for the 10 drain. Yeah, I think you'll leave this ability at level 2, and that'll feel pretty good. Storm Surge is worse in the early levels, but better at max. So another reason to max it, but not by a lot. Okay, you lost your 14 agi, which sucks, and that got replaced by Spell Lifesteal, which is definitely not that good. So you'll probably take Plasma Field damage, and then you lost your 14 strength, which also sucks. With Static Link steal 1 armor per second. You can steal up to 10 armor, which probably takes Static Link damage steal, unless you really need the armor, which, I don't know, maybe some games you could. Go like Mask of Madness and take that talent, I don't know. Okay, Ricky, slight change. Rubik got a huge in-game change. Cooldown decreased on Telekinesis by a ton. Oh my gosh. From 28 to 24 and from 22 to 15 at max. Sheesh. Spell Steal projectile speed increased from 1200 to 1500. I mean, that's nice. He also has a level 25 Telekinesis cooldown talent. You can really lift people as much as you want. Sand King lost some base int. His damage was changed on his Q. Not really too much of a change. They nerfed his E. Wow, this is just, I mean, no one picks this in the pro scene or at a high level, but the hero's win rate has been good for a long time in your average pubs. Shadow Demon Illusion decreased, by a lot at all levels. But illusions now also have bonus base damage, decreased by outgoing damage reduction. Illusions now have 40 bonus base damage. Is that a lot? It's a bonus 40 damage, but that's only like a bonus like 13, right? Because of the 33% damage you're dealing. It seems pretty average. It doesn't look that much stronger, to be honest. Looks pretty average. Shadow Fiend base damage decreased by 5, but he got 5 base agi, so it's the same damage. And now he hits way faster and has almost a full extra armor, so big Shadow Fiend buff. Shadow Shaman got 1 armor. Oh, okay. They nerfed his shard a little bit. And his level 10 talent is Hex Damage Amp. Ha! Dude, Hex can make people take like 35% extra damage. That's insane. People will explode during Hex if you use it at the right time. Glaives of Wisdom now deals magic damage that doesn't pierce debuff immunity. That makes its damage affect debuff immune enemies, but it will be reduced by their magic resist. That makes sense. And it does a bit more. This seems like it's probably a nerf, to be honest. Slardar, Slithering Crush, radius decreased, but not by enough. Okay, this hero is still good. Slark, Strength gain increase, Int gain increased, and Shadow Dance 15 talent better. Little Shredder does 5 more damage. Impact damage on Mortimer Kisses, 20 at level 1, that's significant. 30 at 2 and 40 at max. I mean, especially for level 1 Snap, this is a big deal, right? 20 extra damage is going to help you finish kills in the early game, for sure. Spectre lost 1 HP regen, which is really rough, actually. His minimum radius on Dispersion decreased from 400 to 300. Reality now only triggers 1 cast of Spectral Dagger per illusion. So now you can't triple dagger anyone. That's a huge nerf. And they buffed the axe. Oh, and they got rid of his stats talent too. Ugh. I don't know, guys. Not sure about this hero. I mean, these are huge nerfs, right? Spirit Breaker, Bulldoze, movement speed bonus decreased by a little bit per each level, 5% at max. I guess that's a lot. And they nerfed a ton of his talents. Static Remnant activates 0.25 seconds faster, so it's easier to hit. Kind of a meme talent at level 10 now on Storm. Int gain on Sven increased by 0.2. Aghanim Scepter now increases damage by 180 if Sven travels with the Storm Hammer. I mean, okay, kind of a meme, but sure. Aghanim Shard Aura now provides a bonus 3% movement speed. I mean, that's pretty decent. And they buffed the level 10 talent. Yeah, they mostly just buffed the level 10 talent. Blast Off now only does 20% of Techie's max HP at level 1. Wow. So it does 200 damage and only 20% to Techies. That's a huge buff. It used to do 35. Now it only, at level 1, now it only is 20. Sonic Projection now deals 200 damage instantly upon arrival and activates the trap as if it was fully charged. This is Ags, right? Did the Ags TA? 200 damage, and it can max silence and max slow. I mean, it makes this Ags kind of insane in team fights, right? So people are gonna buy Ags on TA now because what you can do is you can just put Ags on top of anyone, click it on them, and then instantly go to it. Well, it's not instant because you have to channel it. It's not instant. Yeah, I forgot. I mean, it's still good though, right? You put the trap on them, you teleport to them, and then it deals damage and instantly silent. I don't think it's that good. I think it's mid. Demon Seal now applies to reflection illusions with 50% effectiveness. How does that even work? Is this like a passive? I always forget. I don't even know. What a weird spell. I don't know. So weird. Tide Under Gush, a bit better. Dead in the Water, his shard slightly nerfed. Still good though. Timbersaw gained 2 base strength. Whoa. From 25 to 27, which is really good. He got strength gain. He got max stacks increased on reactive armor, so he can get way more max stacks. But when a hero hits you, you gain... Oh, that's a buff. That's definitely a buff, right? You can get way more max... I mean, it's way better at level 1, right? Because you can get up to 15 stacks, which is a ton. And if heroes are going on you, you're going to get way tankier. So, I mean, these are huge timber buffs. And then at level 10, you can get 0.2 reactive armor regeneration. Oh, it's the regen per stack, which is okay. You'll probably take the mana regen, though. I'm actually not sure. This seems pretty decent. What, 5? It's not that good. I mean, this 15 talent is kind of legit, right? So now at level 15, you get 6 max stacks. It's not the duration, but every time a hero hits you, you get that 1 extra stack. So now when a hero hits you, you just instantly at level 1 get 1.5 armor. So you just get way tankier when you get hit. I mean, this ability is much better at level 1 now. Like, way better at level 1. I don't know, this hero might be broken. I'm just gonna say it. Like, at a pro level, pretty sure people are gonna play this. Tinker, cast range nerfed on laser, nerfed heat-seeking missile. Rearm now grants magic resist. What the hell? What is this? This seems terrible. Surely this is just like a hard nerf. There's no way magic resist makes the hero broken. This seems horrible. Tree grab, bonus base damage increased at all levels. The cooldown is way better on tree grab at level 1, 22 to 16. So that makes the hero just 10 times better. Aghanim Shard now increases damage of trees thrown by 100. Oh, if you throw the tree. Okay, I mean, it's fine. And toss bonus damage is better. I mean, this makes Tiny Core like 10 times better. I wonder if people will try like Tiny Core now again. I don't know if Tiny Core is good, but people will try it because of this. Aghanim Shard movement speed bonus decreased from 15 to 8. That makes sense. It was too good. Living Armor heal is worse. Mana cost worse. Treant still is probably good though, realistically. I think people will still play Treant. I mean, it's good that they nerfed the Shard. That was like what was really OP. Aghanim Shard chance of extra, if you hit, you like shoot out attacks. It's really odd. But honestly, it seems kind of strong, no joke. Now allows Troll to receive movement orders if there are no valid targets within range. That's cool. Walrus Punch now deals 50 bonus damage, which is affected by crit multiplier. Well, that's good. Then it does 150? So Walrus Punch is just way better level 1 now? I mean, this hero was already good. Now it seems, but they nerfed the crit. I see, so it's probably a similar hero. Maybe it's better early game though, right? Probably better early game, which is good because the hero's a support mostly. Pit of Malice now deals damage upon rooting. Test point is better. I mean, it's fine. If you root someone, if you like triple root someone, it does 150, no, it does 100 damage because one of the roots is Atos. Fiend's Gate cast point is better. Soul Rip now takes Undying into account when counting nearby allies. That's nice, and it's better mana on Soul Rip. And they buffed the Shard, but they nerfed Flesh Golem. Ursa got 0.5 mana regen. Soul Resistance on Overpower increased by 5%. Damage per attack, whoa. So they made level 1 Fury Swipe way better. 3 better on level 1 Fury Swipe, and 2. It's the same at max, but 3 better damage per attack at level 1 and 2 at level 2. Nether Swap now does 150 damage at level 1 instead of, but it doesn't reduce damage taken. Now it does 150, 300, 450, but that's only if you're using it on enemies, which generally you don't. I mean, you could. Now gives Vengeful Spirit and allied targets damage barrier. Barrier health is equal to the spell's damage value. Okay. I mean, that's way worse than damage reduction for sure, but okay. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't seem that good. Plague Ward, damage rescaled. It's better at level 1, but only at level 1 and worse at max. They buffed the ulti though, which does 50 more initial damage, and the cooldown is better. It's instead of 120 level 1, it's 100. Viper no longer applies break. Now slows attack speed. Your ulti applies break. Movement speed slow increased from 40 to 60 at level 1. Whoa. So this ability at level 1 just like solo kills Spectre or something like that. I mean, I don't know if this is a buff though, right? Because you only get to use it once. It's not constant. But honestly, sometimes keeping heroes like Spectre in Nether Toxin is like near impossible. It feels like it. So this is probably just like a huge buff against the heroes you wanted to counter anyway. If you have multiple heroes you wanted to break, maybe it's worse. I mean, it's honestly good. I mean, this ability at level 1 is ridiculous. It breaks and it's 60% movement speed slows. And you have to keep in mind, now Nether Toxin is just an attack speed slow, which is frankly nice. If a hero that kills you with physical damage, which is generally the way you kill Viper, is on top of you, like a Slaughter, and you put the shit on the ground, he just like can't hit you. Especially considering the Viper E also slows attack speed, if I'm not mistaken. No, it does. Yeah, so if someone's going on you as Viper and you have W on the ground and E, melee heroes like can't kill you. This is like just a huge Viper buff, I'm pretty sure. People might think it won't, I'm pretty sure it will. And the ulti is better too. Visage damage is now calculated before reductions. So don't you just like instantly get soul assumption charges now? You must get them so fast now. This might be insane, right? And the 15 talent was buffed. This hero might be broken. If this is what it sounds like, you're just gonna get charges instantly, right? When heroes fight, that's crazy. Intelligence on Void Spirit, his E got buffed a bit. Warlock lost base strength and nerfed Fatal Bonds, okay. Weaver lost, his talents are a bit weaker. Wind Ranger now slows, decreasing based on time charge and enemies hit. Slow duration 4 seconds. The ability costs more mana. Oh, not really, it's just rescaled. So Power Shot slows now, which is actually really nice because it's gonna set up for Shackle Shot, just helps staying on top of people. It's actually a huge buff. So Wind Rangers are way better now. This is a really nice buff. Wind Run no longer slows, but I'd say the Power Shot's probably better because like you didn't even want to Wind Run on top of people. It was good for disengaging, but that's it. Gale Force is a bit better. They changed the Ags, but I don't think it matters too much. Winter Wyvern, a bit of mana regen. Cast range on Winter's Curse, way better at level 1. And the mana cost is better, and now provides vision over the affected unit and their surrounding area. That's cool, because it used to not do that. Voodoo Restoration no longer deals damage, but the heal at level 1 is insane. So this ability heals like crazy at level 1, but it doesn't do damage and it scales extremely poorly, like obscenely poorly. So I mean, if you're gonna play Witch Doctor, you can take Voodoo Restoration at level 1 and use it to heal at level 1, and that's what it's good for sure, right? It's just a heal, it's just a value point now. Yeah, it's just a value point. You never max this ability, it's horrendous. So, okay, I mean, interesting, for sure. You just leave, yeah, the build is 4-1-4. Maybe you skill this at level 1 to trade, or at level 2. I wouldn't say it's a nerf though, honestly. Might be a buff to support Witch Doctor, unironically. Wraith King, cooldown on the ulti is now 120 at max instead of 100. Aghanim Shard decreased from 3 skeletons to 2 extra, and the Aghanim Scepter respawn from 30 seconds to 15. So you used to be able to bring your ulti down to a 70-second cooldown. Now you can only bring it down to 105, which is way worse. They also nerfed your 15 skeleton damage talent, which I think was the weaker of the talent, to be honest. They nerfed the level 20 skeletons spawn talent, which I think was the weaker of the two talents, and they heavily buffed the cleave, which is funny because I thought people took that. Lightning bolt now deals 2 times damage to creeps. Okay, so you can farm with the lightning bolt. It does 700 damage to creeps. Okay, that's gonna be all for today's video. Man, I'm tired, guys. I just did these videos back to back, so if you appreciate the effort I put into these videos and the editor, shout out to Hota, who should be the one editing this video. He's gonna be grinding as well to get these videos out for you guys. So if you guys could say thank you, Hota, in the comments, I'm sure that would mean a lot. And yeah, subscribe. I'm gonna be doing top builds and top heroes in the upcoming days because we gotta know what's good. I'm gonna be watching so many pubs to keep you guys up to date on what is strong. So yeah, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.